President Cyril Ramaphosa will officially welcome the South African Rugby World Champions ahead of their trophy tour today.
Yeah, their victorious tour around the country. The Boks returning home with the Webb Ellis Cup following that historic success at the global showpiece in France. We now know that they are the only country to hold this title a record 4 times. Ziniko Mhlaba joins us live from the Union Buildings this morning. Ziniko, I wish I were you. I wish I could also be there to welcome the Springboks as they kick off their trophy tour. What can we expect today?
Well, Michelle, we can expect very moving speeches from both the president as he thanks them, the successful Springboks on behalf of South Africa, but also get those inspirational words from the captain of the team, Ziniko, as they will be engaging with the president and some members of the executive here at the Union Building. So this is the official welcoming of the team by the head of state, President Cyril Ramaphosa, on behalf of South Africans who understand that they touched down at OR Tambo not so long ago. So today is that official return to South Africa, and there is no better place to welcome them than the Union Buildings themselves, the seat of government here in South Africa. So we're expecting the president to be engaging with them, giving them those words of encouragement, and then also highlight to them how their success in France has united South Africa, but also inspiring and reviving that spirit of social cohesion. So rugby has always had that way, or that that strategy of bringing all South Africans together. You remember in 1995 when the Springboks won the World Cup for the very first time, and of course at Ellis Park Stadium, that's where we saw the newly elected president at that time, Dr. Nelson Rolihlahla Mandela, taking to the stage alongside the captain of that particular team in 1995, where we saw Mr. Mandela obviously wearing that Springbok cap for the very first time after very turbulent times. Remember that the Springbok team before 1995, it was seen as a team that was widely dominated by single race. However, Nelson Mandela took that brave step, going into the stage, lifting that trophy with the captain of the team, saying that South Africans, this is our Springboks, this is the national team, it represents all of us. So following that, we saw again in 2007 the former president Thabo Mbeki also welcoming the Springboks back in South Africa after winning the second World Cup in France. That was in 2007, of course, alongside the captain George Smith at the time. And obviously, who can forget that moment in 2019 when Ziniko, as the very first black captain, also lifting that trophy, as we saw him doing that again just last week. So it's a very important and significant day for South Africans, but also today you're expecting the president then to meet up with the Springboks. Remember, he had made that phone call to Ziniko just ahead of them, that final, saying, Sia, I'm ready, I've already booked my ticket, I'm going to France, I'm expecting you to hand me that Webb Ellis trophy, and indeed we saw that happening. So the stage is set, Michelle, as you can see, the chairs, members of the media and technical crew setting up the stage, making sure the sound is all right, but also we are also expecting the president to also hand over some certificates, if I may put it in that way, to the Springboks, just as that gesture of gratitude for the wonderful work that the Springboks have done. So those are some of the certificates there we saw. They're ready, and of course we're expecting them to be handed over to the players by the head of the executive. We're also expecting the Minister of Sports and Culture, Mr. Ziniko, to be also joining the president and members of the executive, but also leadership when it comes to the Federation of Rugby here in South Africa, and some officials from the Department of Sports and Culture. So as far as the stage is concerned, it is ready. We're expecting them to arrive as soon as they can, especially after that 9 o'clock hour. So for now, between now and that 9 o'clock hour, where everyone is getting ready, checking the sounds, checking the mic, and obviously members of the media taking up their positions. At 9 o'clock, we'll start seeing some movement, and then at 9:30, that's when we're expecting the official ceremony and the arrival of the Springboks team to start showing up at the Union Buildings here in Pretoria. So that's the latest from us here at the Union Buildings. Michelle, it's back to you for now.
Yeah, it'd be great to see the Boks again. We've seen them a number of times over the past few days, but It doesn't get old, does it? Ziniko, Mhlaba, live to stay at the Union Buildings. Thanks very much indeed.